So you guys really liked this video, my 6 weird anti-aging hacks I'm never giving up. Oh, there's more. The content just makes itself over here. I'll be catching myself doing something during the day and I'll be like, I wonder how somebody would find this. They'd probably find it weird, although maybe not you because you clicked on this video. I'm going to go through some current hyperfixations. After all, I mean, anyone's in the biohacking, rejuvenation, somewhat skincare space. We're all OCD, diagnosable. I mean, present company definitely included in that. But it's an OCD that I don't want a cure for because I'm happy to be this granular with certain things. Certain things really count, and these do. So if that sounds good, I'm going to share these with you. Go ahead, put me on the background, grab something to drink, grab a snack, and let's go through these. So most of us have heard that green tea has a really nice antioxidant polyphenol benefit in our life. So I've been meaning to get one into my routine. One more benefit of green tea is it actually increases stem cell proliferation. That's amazing. Something that I can do in the afternoon that's enjoyable that is going to increase stem cell proliferation. Yes, I'm all in. So the problem is thinking about how am I going to be preparing this tea. I have been trying really hard to get microplastic and plastic processing, like processing heat through anything plastic, completely out of my life. So I have my own espresso machine. I make my own espresso at home. Nothing touches plastic. I'm really trying to reduce that. I knew I wanted to avoid tea bags. They most likely have microplastics in them, even if they look like a paper. I discovered this place called the Whistling Kettle online. And one of the reasons this gorgeous, gorgeous tea steeper is a stainless steel. So I can use this for steeping my tea in the afternoon and not worry about anything yucky getting into my tea. After all, we're using hot water. And the other thing that drew me in is they have sample sizes of their tea. So the tea that I settled on is this beautiful organic green tea, but you see those white specks in there. That's actually roasted rice. And I discovered that that beautiful restaurant quality green tea roasty flavor that I love so much comes from that. It has a little bit of roasted rice in it. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous tea, organic. And of course, I can steep it myself in this beautiful, like art piece of a stainless steel steeper. And I can have a sort of plastic free tea routine, enjoyable, and those stem cell benefits are definitely a plus. I love having a wonderful, sparkling mineral, true spring mineral water in my routine every day. It's enjoyable. I'll put some like frozen berries in there, and I'm getting naturally sourced minerals. I usually try to get them, source them from all over so that I'm getting different sources of mineral. The reason why I will pick up the Gerolsteiner about once a month at least, or somewhere in there. By the way, this is not for the faint of heart. This is a very thick mineral water. It's got a very large amount or percentage of those dissolved solids. I think they said that this water, naturally occurring sparkling water, goes through like limestone and I think it's a dolomite. I mean, we are legitimately getting wonderful minerals in this. The reason I'll pick up the Gerolsteiner though is this will have low, very micro doses of lithium. We've got studies now showing that low dose microdosing of lithium is showing to improve cognitive benefits and be cognitive protective against things like Alzheimer's and really good for us mental health, the brain. There's no way I'm going to go out and microdose lithium. That's not going to happen. But I can get a natural source of it in here. And this just feels like a very sort of organic way to get that into my routine, plus all the other wonderful minerals that I get out of here. So I pick one of these up once in a while. It is very flavorful, a very sort of full-bodied mineral water, which I love. If I were to come over to your house and we were going to make a meal together, the very first thing that I would be doing is pulling out the produce, because of course we're going to use produce, and be looking for baking soda. There are people online who talk about like, oh, it's the natural probiotics. Okay, girl, eat some yogurt. Okay, we don't want the kind of probiotics that are on our produce, mostly because we're getting pesticides. Even when we're getting the organic, I don't always buy organic. Some things like cilantro and berries, I do try to if I can source that. But it doesn't matter whether it's organic or not. We're getting pesticides, we're getting residue. I mean, it's not fruit just falling off a tree. There are people handling it. So I will always give my produce, avocados, lemons, tomato, lettuce, anything I'm going to eat, most particularly if I'm going to eat it raw, a bath with a little scoop of baking soda. Now, I use baking soda a lot. For cleaning, I'll use any old kind of baking soda. But for cleaning my vegetables and fruits, I kind of like to get this food grade baking soda. And just a little scoop of this in a big bowl of water, and it actually removes like 99% of the residue on the outside of our fruits. You know, our like cilantro. Don't even literally talk to me if you don't wash your cilantro. I don't think our soil is that good, okay? It's filled with Roundup. It's filled with all kinds of things. We'll get our probiotics a different way, not through our produce. Avocados are actually sprayed with this sort of gas or something to try to get it to ripen more quickly. I never buy a ripe avocado. I always buy a very unripe avocado and do my own ripening. But I still go ahead and soak in baking soda, then put it on the windowsill in the sun and let it, ripen naturally. Because even though we're not eating the skin, we're cutting through the skin. And again, granular level, that's getting into that avocado meat, that avocado center, and we don't want that. So I have never had a wearable device, Fitbit, or a ring. I don't like having a Wi-Fi containing device on my person all day, and particularly at night. But I do like to know my steps. And I went ahead and got my favorite little sort of technology going back to the early 2000s here. This is a pedometer, and that is all it does. It counts my steps. It has one button on the back which clears the steps at the end of the night, so then I start over fresh the next day. I love the way it has this little clip, so I can clip it right here, clip it on my yoga pants, and I get credit for every step I do throughout the day. I love this. I don't have to worry about the Wi-Fi. And by the way, there's a study, I believe it was on Tim Ferriss's podcast, where someone was talking about a study using, some sort of a wearable device. And they did a study where it was a placebo double-blind thing. Half of the study group was told that they had a good sleep score, and the other half were told that they had a terrible sleep score. And I think that it wasn't true. So the ones that were told they had a poor sleep score, but it actually was fine, they performed less well on performance tests. So, and I think they self-rated themselves as like not doing as well. So there's this suggestive effect. So I know if I got up and looked and go, oh God, I had terrible sleep, I'm too suggestible. That is going to affect my rest of my day. So that's data I just don't really want. I work on my sleep hygiene. I kind of know whether I slept well or not, and I don't want to wear something. But I love this little pedometer. I don't think there's a magic number in 10,000 steps a day. In fact, my first 1,000 to 2,000 steps a day is often in the form of a really quick, high intensity interval training where I'm doing like jumps, burpees, squat after squat after squat. I'm getting like steps for that, but those are like high intensity steps. And then later on, doing something like the treadmill and all of that, which we don't want to discount our what we think about as like zone 2 training. Walking at this good clip, not leisurely, but walking at this good clip for an extended period of time. We want to get about 150 minutes in that zone 2, like you're breathing heavier, but you could still, kind of talk, breathy. You're definitely moving, you're moving oxygen in and out of your lungs. That is working on VO2 max, and VO2 max is one of our best longevity and anti-aging indicators. When you have a good VO2 max, it's something we really want to hold on to, just like brain health. So I don't think there's this magic number in 10,000 steps, but I am motivated by knowing how many steps I did, and just, kind of seeing that each day feels like a little form of accomplishment. I was pumped to receive this. Thank you, MITO Red Light, for sending me the Red Light Therapy Face and Body Spray. Great job, MITO Red. What an amazing formula. If you have ever thought, like, what am I supposed to put on my skin when I do red light therapy? Or do I do nothing? Or do I do something? And of course, there's a lot of things you can do: vitamin C, green tea. Here's a great formula. Not only does this have copper peptides, which I love in combination with red light therapy, but this has the light activated DNA repair enzyme. I think it's photolyase, or anyway, I'll list it on the screen. It's just this easy formula. You just obviously spray it on. Now it says body. I'm keeping it to face, neck, and deck. It can, elevate our LED time a little bit. I think the instructions say that you're supposed to like spray this in your hand and then put it on your face. No, no, no. The whole benefit is that we've got a spray. That way I can just quickly spray this on, go right into my red light therapy, leave it on. This doesn't rinse off. I leave it on all day, or you could do it at night. And I'm actually really, really loving this formula. It's gorgeous. I really have a love-hate relationship with Frownies. I end up buying this more than I want to buy it, and that's part of my complaint about it. Is I will go through a box of these so fast, and these are, of course, these patches that you have to kind of like be your own little ER tech and make a cast on your forehead each night. And every criticism of these are true. The adhesive is annoying. It's kind of stinky and hard to work with. They're uncomfortable when you go to take it off the next day. It can be painful. Here's the problem, though. It actually does work. I haven't used Botox in over a decade. I tried it a handful of times over a decade ago. So my skin has no benefits of any kind of injectable. So I really lean into this kind of device to try to keep my forehead smooth, okay? So it does work, and I probably will order it again reluctantly, okay? But other things do work too, and I do like this brand particularly because this is a silicone-based like forehead patch. But what's nice about these is it's infused with peptides. I guess it says it has vitamin E and adenosine. So it's got a few little things in there. By the way, I put my skincare on anyway. There's no way I'm putting a patch on without putting skincare on. But these are really nice, and they are comfortable, easy to put on. So I will go ahead and alternate between these and get the benefit. I really use something every night because I feel like that is my time to try to train my muscles to, stay relaxed. I can definitely do something like put a little argireline. I like to put some argireline on underneath either one of these actually. And that argireline is the one that's kind of relaxing constricted tissue. So the combination of the patch and the argireline is what I do instead of Botox for the forehead. This last one is just a luxury item. If you want to get yourself a little treat for the holidays, this is such a luxury product. Now, I did get a discount over at Skin Beautiful RX, where Leah always gives us a discount, so it wasn't terrible, but I mean, obviously we can get cheaper lip balms. Range is called Lines. They do make more than just this lip serum, and this is the lip serum. I love this so much. Other cosmetic formulators and brands should be looking at their component because this is the most gorgeous component. It's so solid. It's so gorgeous. It will dose out just the exact dose, and I don't use a whole lot. Okay, so there it is. And I did get it in this berry tint. It is the most luxurious formula. So it gives this just slight berry tint to the lips, but this is the plushiest, sort of most hydrating, plumpy, beautiful formula, not sticky. I won't put something on my lips that's sticky, that's annoying. And I really, truly feel like it's just seeping into the little lines, giving me this beautiful plumping moisture base to my lips. I kind of want to use it all day. I don't because I'm like eking it out like it's a special, special little thing. I will list an alternative to this that also I think is great, and it's probably like half or less the price. But I do have to say, I adore it. I think it has a little bit of mint in it because I can feel that just the tiniest bit. But I have two shades and a clear, and I honestly would in the future get the clear because this is beautiful for nighttime. And if you really want to let it, seep into these little tiny lines around the line is aptly named. It's called Lines, and if you want to let that just seep into those little lines around the mouth, very soothing, gorgeous, gorgeous formula. Okay, you guys, those are my freaky little products. This one is just literally like an art piece. It's so gorgeous. Let me know what's up, and let me know if there's anything you're currently hyperfixated on, and I will meet you down in the comments. I love you guys. I'm excited to see you in the next one. Bye.